forensic audit by experts. 3. Reform and reconstitution of the IEBC. This meeting agreed that electoral reforms are urgent and necessary for future elections.
The former Prime Minister has reiterated that the government needs to fully compensate Kenyans injured and families that lost their loved ones during their mass action.
The state must immediately take up the costs or waive all medical bills of victims of police brutality, including journalists and the last expense costs of those who lost their lives.
As the opposition statement predicts a possible return to the streets, it also kicks the ball back on the court of the Bipartisan Parliamentary Committee that is required to be objective as possible in resolving issues raised by the Odinga-led team.
We assure our people and Kenyans that our eyes are firmly on the ball and reiterate that we shall go back to the people as the earliest sign of lack of seriousness by the other side. In other words, if the other side is not serious, we will go back to our people and continue.
Sam Medika, Look Up TV.
So the demands then that the Azimio coalition has made. And Albert, you hear them there. And but just a recap of them. They're talking about the cost of electricity. They want IBC servers open, and they're still on it. Cost of electricity in terms of the cost of living, and that has come up immediately after April announced that indeed, as from the 1st of this April, the cost of electricity is supposed to go up by 63%. So they added that in terms of the demands. They looked at what they were calling a constitutional right that majority of the supporters were enjoying in terms of the protests. So they're saying, well, all those who were hurt during the protests, including the journalists, something that put the government on the spot, their medical bills have to be sorted out by the government. But the bigger takeaway there is that should we realize that indeed there is no seriousness from the government side in that committee, we're going to go back to the people. And then I want you to weigh in on that with this new one now. Raila Odinga essentially has envisioned the ability or the powers of this committee to what happened after the 2008 post-election violence. He said, well, I envision the powers of that committee with that reconciliation committee that were formed when Kenya went into election violence back in 2008, that whatever they say is final. This parliamentary process, I do not want it because we do know that some members of parliament have been bought by the government, allegedly. That's exactly what the Azimio side has called out for. Let me start with that. Does he have a point that if indeed we're going to talk about bipartisan negotiations, there is no need of going back to parliament because indeed all these committees that you're presenting here represent the government and our side also represents the opposition. And number two, do you think that these new demands make it easy for the government to actually get on negotiation table, or it already disincentivizes the negotiation?
Thanks. This is a very tough situation.
Yes.
It's not as easy for even the president, neither is it easy to Honorable Ruto. Mm-hmm. I'll start by looking at the issue of, you mentioned the issue of cost of living?
Yes.
You mentioned the issue of compensating these people.
That's it.
If the country can be, the government, sorry, can be fair enough, those who were affected during the demonstrations are not guys are neither upper nor middle class. These were the lower class people because they're the ones who suffer the most. So generally, these people are unable to meet their medical bills. Recently, I saw a lady on TV whose son was killed. She says that she does not have a single coin. She is only interested in having the body of her son ferried to their home for burial. So I think it has a point. He has a point that if the government can be fair enough and say, yes, this is our country, this is our children, there is a mess here. Let's forget about what happened. Let's see how best we can assist these people. Those who are in hospital, in public hospitals, they foot their bills. And I know most of them should be in public hospitals. The government should come in and assist these people. Because these are the people are just hungry, they're frustrated, and they assume that by doing this, maybe it will make my life better. The other one is the cost of living. The cost of living is gone so high, as I earlier said. There is nobody who is enjoying, unless you are a cabinet secretary maybe, or somebody up there, but everybody is crying. So what are the remedies? What is it that the country can do? What is it that we can have a discussion on the cost of living to at least alleviate it and have our people enjoy life somehow? I have really been, everybody struggling, even me. I'm not finding it easy. And I know if I'm not finding it easy, there are so many other people who are not finding it easy. So the negotiation also should look at how best can we work out,
Yes,
to ensure that the common mwananchi and Kenyans are not suffering this much. I don't know, the other thing you asked was about what?
Now, from there, they came up with then this new demands as well, that should we sense any unseriousness?
Yes.
Yes.
I think